And hello, you lovely lot. Sorry, I've been a bit AWOL for the last few months. We had a bit of should we say dramatic family stuff going on. So I do apologize for not having brought you a Haunted Histories episode recently. If anyone can hear is whining in the background, that's my dog. He had been lying down, but as soon as he hears me talking, he wants to be part of the podcast. So I do apologize for that, but all of those who know him say, "Hi, Loki." Now, every so often, you get not one, but two brilliant guests, well, for the price of one. And that's what's happening for you on this episode. Now, next month, because we're recording this in April, next month, in May, I am going to be making my way over to Pennsylvania again. And all I have to say is, I do hope if any of you are coming to this event, you buy my books so I've got enough money to have me airfare home. That is a joke if anyone from immigration in the States is listening. I have got a return ticket. It was just trying to be funny. However, what I'm really lucky to have tonight are two people who are literally Pennhurst Asylum. It's how I would describe them. We've got Bob Christopher, who is the founder and lead investigator of Ghost Detectives TV. Over 100 episodes filmed, which you can access on Amazon. He's also the owner and operator of Vortex Ghost Gear, creating some really unique and custom pieces. But I haven't seen a German Shepherd yet as one of those dog devices, so we're going to be having a conversation about that during the interview, Mr. Christopher.
Hmm.
He's also he's also the
Bring them with
co-owner.
you.
He's the co-owner at Ghostly Excursions, where they take people to some incredibly haunted locations in the USA. And him and my other gorgeous guest, Miss Gina, are actually the co-organizers of the annual, and drum roll here, Pennhurst Paracon, an event probably I would say is one of the largest, if not the largest, in the USA, which has been going for well over a decade. And if Gina isn't busy enough doing that and keeping Mr. Christopher in line, she is also the host of the Fox Den, also a member of Ghost Detectives, also the co-owner at Ghostly Excursions, and she also works with Bob on Vortex. I mean, could this couple be any more of a power couple? Gina and Bob, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
I think I covered everything in that intro that was in
That
your.
was a good
Did you like
introduction.
that? Did you like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the most of it.
Yeah, I
I was
tried
like,
not to
wow,
read. I tried
do
not
all
to
that
read it
stuff.
off the script. I tried to sort of make it a bit inventive, but we do need a German Shepherd
Like I
detector
said, bring
thing.
one with you. You can give it to him, and then he'll ship it to you.
Yeah, I mean, my shepherd might start growling at it when it starts making noises and everything else, but
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you did a pit bull version, didn't you? That
Yeah,
was
just
so
just recently, our
cute.
first pit bull. He's the cutest little thing.
It
It's
is.
funny. I call our helpers at Pennhurst my worker bees, and we made one. What's Dana's dog? The Cavalier, King
Oh,
Cavalier.
King Cavalier.
Right. So we
King
made her
Charles
one.
Cavalier.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she has those dogs. So she
Mm.
put it on the ground and all her dogs were around it. Like it was, she made a video. It was the funniest, cutest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. And
Well,
then when it went off, they all
when I
jumped
got
at the same
when I got
time.
to come to Pennhurst last year, when I met Bob, I think it was about the week or two before last year's Paracon. There was a couple of corgis that I was making a
Yeah.
fuss of, and I said it was so funny that even though corgis are kind of British, I mean, our late Queen had them. You never see them in this country, so it was yeah, it was quite nice to. Well, it's
Yeah,
always
those are
nice to make a
Jim's
fuss of a
dogs.
dog.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah.
nice to have a dog to make a fuss of, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
when you're a dog person. But
Hmm.
we're going to focus today on Pennhurst and talk a bit about the Paracon that's coming up, which I'm going to have a stall at. I'm going to be selling my books at, and that was a bit of a joke about raising enough money to get the flight home, but it would be nice to sort of sell a few. Um,
I'm sure you won't have a problem.
Yep. 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 There's a lot
well,
of people. come to the event, that's for sure. And every year it gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
So last year we had nearly almost 7,000 people come.
yeah,
And this year, because we're with the addition of Josh Gates this year, with
yeah.
everybody that we have, we're anticipating a lot more than that, you
I mean,
know.
the lineup is. I mean, I've been I'm sort of participate as a speaker at quite a few of the UK Paracons, but none of them obviously at that sort of thousands of people levels. But the guests that you get turn up, there are a few of them on that list that are on my. I may end up stalking them a little bit for the weekend when I get a spare minute. I mean, I know Katrina. I know Katrina reasonably well. I've interviewed Nick Groff before. We had a great natter. Obviously, I know who Josh Gates is. I think anyone does. I mean, the other one I'd like to meet is Steve Gonsalves. Salves.
So these, yeah,
I,
Yeah.
Steve, yeah,
I,
Ghost Hunters.
yeah,
Yeah.
I quite
Oh,
I
he's
like.
a love. Oh my God. Talk about a sweetheart of a guy, a genuine, true, just
Is he
impeccably good guy.
is he as nice as he appears on camera? Then it's not an act.
1,000%.
Oh,
Absolutely.
you guys might have to when if there's nobody around, you might have to let me get introduced to him because he's one that I'm very excited about being in the same building as. Um,
Well, I'm sure
Well,
he's gonna love that.
Is he? Oh, well, maybe you can say to him, look, she's all right, she might come across as a bit British, but she's quite
A bit,
nice.
just a
But
bit.
this event, I mean, the great
I
thing
don't think
about
he can
it,
hide it.
oh, well, it's a bit difficult, yeah. The great thing about this event, it's not just paranormal, is it? You've got all these horror
No.
actors turning up
Right,
as
right.
well.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, so for celebrity guests, we have Josh Gates, Ghost Hunters, Adam and Amy from Kindred Spirits,
Hmm.
Ghost Brothers, Project Fear, Tessa and Nick,
Hmm.
Groff, Chris
Hmm.
Williams, who used to be on the Ghost Hunters,
Hmm.
Ryan and Richell, and they used to be on the Ghost Hunters,
Hmm.
Katrina Wegman, Patty
Hmm.
Neg, who
I
was
know
on.
Patty as well, actually. I've met Patty before.
Yeah, and she
Yep.
was on Ghost Adventures.
Yep.
Rob Coutreau, he is an animal psychic,
Right.
so that's different. Now, for
Yeah.
actresses and actors, we have Sean Whalen. He's been in, I don't even know how many movies.
Yeah.
He's insane. Bree Turner,
Hmm.
Rochelle Lever. I don't even know how to say it. Lefer.
Lefebvre. Lefebvre? Is that how you
Yeah,
spell it?
that.
Yeah.
from Twilight.
From Twilight, the
Yeah.
beautiful blonde from Twilight. Tyler Main, who was Michael Myers.
Yeah.
R.A. Mahaloff, who was Leatherface. So I don't know if we're going to add more. You never know until we
No more.
actually
No
go
more.
there. But
Penny Griffiths
so,
Morgan from
yeah,
England.
between all of that, so you can go there just to stand in lines and see
Yeah.
these celebrities and these guests all day. But we have like the horror people and the
Yeah.
actors and actresses. We have that, what is it? The party fun Friday night and Saturday
Right.
night
Horror happy
in
hour. The happy
the
hour. Is that?
horror
Yeah.
happy hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's the bar,
yeah,
actually.
that's inside Devon building, and Devon was just all recently done over. If you
Hmm.
were there last year, then you've seen it.
Yep.
The where the bar area is. So there's like a ticketed, event going on there.
Mm.
And also while you're in there, you can explore Devon building. And Devon also has downstairs like Candyland in the basement, that's very haunted.
I
Um,
went there. I went there. That's but a couple of your friends were with us, weren't they, Bob? And we went down to
Oh yeah,
Candyland.
yeah. Rich
And
and Mike were there.
yeah.
yeah, and I've watched quite a few investigations on television that have been done at Pennhurst. I didn't realize that was Candyland, and it was only as I sort of saw some of the painting on the walls, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm in Candyland!" And Rachel's going, "Why are you going?" I mean, this is Candyland, and she went, "I have no idea what you're talking about." But my son is 15, my eldest son and he's a trainee investigator. He's quite good as well. He's not a everything he sees on like the screamy YouTubes as I call them. He believes it. He's very good at well, there could be this and it could be this and have you thought about this and you need and he's going to be
That's
good.
good.
He's going to
That's
be
good.
good. When
Yep.
He's
I
a
told
debunker.
him, pardon?
Yeah, that's always good,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I'm not a screamy sort of, oh my God, oh my God. I'm quite sort of,
Bob's a runner.
is he? Oh, I run to it. When I hear a noise, I run
I run
to the
to it. All
noise.
right, you're with
Yeah,
me. All
yeah,
right, I run to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
But
be bringing up the rear.
okay, you'll be checking out behind
We
us.
keep
Okay.
telling them, the last one up the stairs and the last one out the building, they get eaten.
Well, you need to speak to some of these horror actors who are coming and ask them in horror films, who's the one who gets taken out? It's the one at the back. But
Right,
but
right.
when I told my eldest that and I showed him some of the pictures, and he went, "Oh my God, that's Candyland." And I was like, "How do you know what Candyland is?" He went, "It's Pennhurst
Uh,
Asylum. You went to Pennhurst Asylum." I was like, "Yeah." He was so jealous. That and the Shanley, he was just spitting jealous that I'd got to go. So I have made a deal with him because he does his exams next year. And I have told him if he gets a certain grade or above, I'm bringing him out to the States and I'm going to take him to the Shanley. I was going to have a go word with you guys, see if I could bring him along to Pennhurst to see Pennhurst. And there's a few other
cool.
places. So that's his reward for doing
For doing
well.
a good
And
job? Hell
I'm
yeah. Oh,
hoping.
sorry.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping it works. So we've got a lovely little crew of people who sort of gonna people like you know Lourdes and Ron
Yep, yep, yep,
Jacobetti.
yep.
I'm very good friends with them and people like that. They said, right, we'll hire the Shanley out for the night. He can come and join us there. And he's yeah, but he was when I showed him he knew it was Candyland before I even told him, and he knew why I was excited as well. But I did have a weird experience there talking about weird experiences. The next day, I think it was the Sunday we flew home. So the next day, I was having a shower and my neck hurt, like stung. And I
Huh.
saw I had three red scratches had appeared on my
Yeah.
From
neck.
the Shanley or from Pennhurst?
It was either Pennhurst or Whitehill because that's where I'd been the
Oh,
night before, the day before. But the
okay.
weird thing was, they hadn't appeared until I started having a shower. And Rachel and I
Mhm.
studied them to see if it was her nails could have caused it because we had to share a room. My nails, no, we couldn't. And they got worse and worse as the day went on. It was
Hmm.
so strange.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
very
What
strange.
was the last place that you went?
Well, the last obviously apart from the place we were staying, but the last place was Whitehill. But the place
Then I
before
would
that
say it
had
was
been
there.
possibly, but the place before was Pennhurst, and I can't remember who else I was talking to who's investigated Pennhurst quite a few times. They went, I've come away, the 24 hours later, scratches appeared on my neck. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
odd.
It's
It's
not it's
odd.
not it's not a common thing, but it does
No.
happen every once in a while. I mean, you can't help, you got to figure out who it was that's at Pennhurst.
Yes.
Okay. The people that were actually there.
Yeah.
Okay. They're feeble-minded, they're handicapped,
Yep.
some of them can't speak. They're
Yep.
trying to get your attention. If they
Yep.
can't speak, what's the only way they can get your attention?
Oh,
They're gonna
Gina,
get
you and
to them.
I are from the same mold because this is exactly what I say to people when they go to places where there's people who might be selectively verbal or sort of approach things in a different way to what convention is. When people go to sort of like mental health asylums, like conventional mental health, and they say, "Oh yeah, we've been tugged, we've been we've felt someone rushing at us," and it's like, well, yes, because that's how they communicated. They couldn't
Mhm.
communicate in a conventional way.
Yeah.
And that's how
Yeah.
they did it. But the other sort of thing I've got is I have my younger son is autistic. So he's at a special needs school. So I do see that sort of behavior. Um
100%,
yeah,
100%. And there's so many. I mean, there's so many different, it's a variety at Pennhurst as well. So
yeah.
it depends on which building you go into.
Right.
They house different people in the different areas. So when you go into Quaker, it might be a little bit more,
Definitely the doctors.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, um, you can have
Yeah. Mayflowers, the
conversations.
nurses.
Yeah, Mayflower, I've had actually the best like fun experience in the basement with
Mm,
the kids there, like or whoever was down there playing with our trigger prop cats and dogs.
mm,
They absolutely love them down there, and they'll like answer questions that way and such. And it's great. And I just found out today from someone else that over a spirit box, and we make some pretty cool spirit boxes,
mm,
by the way, our easy scan ghost boxes, but Someone was asking questions and they had a coloring book and the colors and they were asking the
Mm.
questions over the spirit box and the spirits were telling them what colors to fill in on the coloring book. What color should I
Wow.
make the hat? What color should this be? And then they were saying, they asked what the name was of this person. They actually said it and they said, well, we're going to sign it and we're going to hang the picture up. And she said it was still there, like the next year that she went back, it was still hanging on the wall there.
Mm.
Um, so it was the colors were filled in by one of the spirits down in the
Wow.
basement at Mayflower. So I think that's pretty incredible that they
Yeah.
can communicate with you in that way.
I mean,
Pretty creative.
but going into my son's school to sort of speak to teachers or to visit him and everything else, it's non-residential. He lives at home. It's one of those things that um, it I'm glad now that children, I mean, and adults, but children with additional needs, whatever that additional need is, are given the chance to be, well, humans, are given the
Mhm.
chance to sort of develop. Because, I mean, that's one of the big things about Pennhurst, wasn't it? That they felt that that people weren't given, who were having to live there, weren't given the chance to develop themselves. It was literally just a
Right.
holding pen. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they
one of,
all start out, every one of them started out with good intentions. They really did.
yes,
And they all
yes,
did really well at the beginning
yeah,
also. But then you get overcrowded
yeah,
and understaffed.
yeah,
And that's the problem. That's the
yeah,
beginning of the problem. And then it turns into a dumping ground. And then it turns
yes,
into predator prey.
yeah.
And then it turns into just an abusive situation.
Mm. But not everyone who, I think this is something that I do stress to people when I'm talking about places like that, is not everyone who worked there was a predator. Not everyone who worked there
No,
was
Yeah.
abusive.
no,
There was
no.
a brilliant documentary I found on YouTube that I think was made a few years ago about Pennhurst, and it features the Suffer the Little Children documentary that, is it Bill Baldoni did in
Mhm.
the, was it the 60s or 70s he did that? And
Hmm.
then
Yep.
talking to
Love
some of the
that.
staff, and they said it would break our hearts at the end of our shift every day because we couldn't do enough. We'd have 30 children, all with severe learning difficulties, who would have to be stuck in their cots because there was
Mhm.
two of us to try
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stimulate
Yeah.
30
Well, just figure that they
children.
they also only had, 15 minutes, if that, a year
Yeah,
to see a doctor.
yeah,
So if you can't communicate what's wrong with you in those 15 minutes, what's
yeah,
going to happen?
yeah. Yeah, it was. I would say I one of I'd never realised until I came to visit. I always thought Pennhurst was a mental health hospital. I didn't realise it was a school and a place for, what was the technical term, for the feeble-minded and epileptics, I
Right.
think was the original term for
Mhm.
it. Um,
You
and
really have to go on the history tour when you come this
yeah,
time.
Yeah,
yeah.
the history tour is amazing. That's another thing that goes on during the Paracon itself. You can do
Oh,
the history
awesome.
tours. There's a lot to do. That's what I was
Yeah,
trying to get to before.
yeah.
Before, before our conversation goes that shiny ball. But it's like there's so much to do during the day between and vendors. I mean, we have so many awesome vendors, and Bob and I are also vending. Well, I will be in the tent. Bob will be out doing whatever Bob does. He has to do so much stuff. He's everywhere. I'll be out and about as well, but for the most part, I'll be in the tent selling the equipment and such. But it's, so our vendors are amazing. Our celebrities are amazing.
Yeah.
The tours during the day are amazing. That party, the first party there, with the
Happy Horror Hour.
yeah, that the happy horror hour, and then we have our VIP dinner, and there's Q&A
Mm,
times that go on with our celebrity guests, and it's like you get to see all the different parts of
mm,
Pennhurst. The assembly building kind of like brought back to life a little bit, and that's where we have our VIP. It's
hmm,
amazing to see what this Paracon and all the other events that they run all year round do to benefit Pennhurst, to
mm,
keep the grounds up and to make improvements and to get
mm,
rid of what doesn't work, the
mm,
buildings that can't be um, improved upon are taken down, So it's heartwarming for us to see what it does every year for
mm.
it.
But I think that's something that I mean, I ran a charity like investigation at an airfield in Norfolk in England, and it was, even though it's in Norfolk, it was a US Air Force airfield back in World War II bomber field. And I've been flying from there since I was tiny because my dad flies gliders and light aircraft from there, so I've always known the story. In fact, Jimmy Stewart, the actor, was based
Yeah.
there during World War Two. So it's pretty well known. And the only bit that still dates back to World War Two is their runways. And they were like, we need to raise money to resurface the runway. And I said, why don't we do an investigation here? Like, we'll do a public investigation. I'll manage it. I'll bring in some friends as volunteers to help look after everything. Um, I there was a couple of people who were so angry that we were doing that because obviously, we're going to conjure demons and we're
Oh
bothering
God.
spirits who don't want to talk and everything. And I kept trying to say, I did an interview with a local newspaper and I said, honestly, they don't want to talk. They ain't going to communicate with us. We're not bothering them. We're not like,
Hmm.
digging up graves or anything nefarious like that. They only talk when they want to talk. And you
Midnight rituals with the, Ouija board and the candles.
Exactly. But I tried explaining to them that it's not like that. And it's actually, it does raise money for these places. And without the money that's raised, they can't go on. And it's trying to explain that with some of our sort of historical places in the UK openly admit without allowing the paranormal side to come in, but respectfully.
Hmm.
Obviously, if they
Right.
start damaging stuff, they're out. But the
Exactly.
money they raise from them allows those buildings to stay open. And I think that's, when I do think it's and it's also a great way for people to, one of the other things I love about doing it in a location like Pennhurst, your Paracon, is those people who've come along just for the horror side, or maybe have just come along for, oh, bit interested in ghosts, they'll learn some of the history and they will go away having learned something that they didn't know
Yep.
2 days beforehand.
Yep.
And that's where I think these things,
And even the ones that come every year, I like
yeah,
to see the look on their faces saying, "Oh my God, this place has changed. I can't wait to go and do that."
yeah,
Oh my God, to see what the changes are. Like you never know. You never know what's
no,
going to happen. What are you going to
no,
see when you go to Pennhurst? What changes? What improvements? It's always something on the fire.
yeah. So how did you
We're
two
getting
get in?
down to the nitty-gritty now, actually. I think we're down to two buildings left to clean out. We'll be cleaning one more out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
So how
amazing.
did you two get involved in Pennhurst Asylum? How did that come about? Because you've been doing the Paracon now for well over a decade.
Oh, yeah.
How did you get involved in Pennhurst? What?
Well, we were actually filming the show, and I became good friends with the previous owner
Hmm.
of Pennhurst, and I had a partner at the time, and we went to him and said, "Why don't we have like a meet and greet kind of thing, almost like a meetup?"
Mm.
Because at that time there was no Paracons or any kind of events or anything like that going on.
All right.
And the first thing we had there, we had 50 people there. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, thought that was a lot. So it was so successful that year that the owner said, "All right, let's do it again next year, and we'll limit the tickets." And we didn't have a number because we really didn't know how it was going to go. And the second year, we got vendors involved and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We opened up the tickets, and in 2 days, we sold 500 tickets. So he got scared and he had to stop it. He's like, because at that time, we only had one building that we could actually use.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was so
Mayflower.
overrun and
Mayflower. Right.
yeah, it was so bad. Like the buildings were falling down and everything and
Yeah, the grounds weren't kind of safe to be walking around and, not,
overgrown
yeah,
and
not like not like it
poison
is
ivy
now.
everywhere. And
Right.
it was pretty rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
We actually watched a Ghost Adventures from 2009.
Oh my
Right.
God. Yeah, when it was really all overgrown and we were like, remember that? Remember that?
I asked, I can't believe it looked like that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But the owner sold it and we had like 2 years where it was like in limbo,
Mm.
because the new owner, I knew the new owner pretty good. We were good friends, and
Mm-hmm.
he basically just they bought it for the haunted attraction.
Mm-hmm.
They have a haunt that they do in October,
Mm-hmm.
September and October.
Oh my God. And you know what? You can't call it a haunt. This is an epic event.
It's
This
like
is like Hollywood worthy. The makeup is intense. The props and everything all over the grounds. It takes 4 hours to go through this thing. I mean,
I, I've seen
It's
some of the reviews, and I think one of the
it's
reviews said, "I've never been more scared in my entire
literally,
life."
and I'm obsessed. I am obsessed with the haunts. I used to go up to in New Hampshire with my daughter to the haunted overload. Thought that was like the best. Oh no, that's like baby stuff compared to what they do at Pennhurst.
It's crazy. Yeah.
How do you think though some of the spirits who are there feel about it?
They love it.
Do
They
they?
love having people around and the
Oh
attention.
yeah.
People,
We get more
yeah,
evidence during the
inter
Paracons,
yeah,
like during the day.
Yeah.
yes, interact all the time. It's like when people are like, oh, I want it to be quiet. I want it to be quiet. I'm like, you really don't. You
Yeah.
really, really don't, because this is how their life was. It was never quiet there.
No, no, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't be just knowing what my son's school is like, and there's only
Right.
70 children there, and
Right.
it's never ever quiet, ever.
No.
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 You kind of get used to it, but it's yeah, I just wondered how, if because one of the I obviously I've done a lot of reading before this podcast and research, and there were comments from people saying, "Oh, it's so, a bit like I got about doing the airfield. It'll be traumatic to the spirits to be, trivialized as a haunted attraction." And I've been thinking, well, actually, a lot of the people I know who have learning disabilities and learning difficulties and whatever you want to call them, they love people. They
Hmm.
love
Right.
people.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
so whatever the people are doing, they're just going to be pleased there's people.
Yep.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah,
and
that's exactly it.
yeah, and that's sort of and that it's
Yeah. But there's tunnels throughout the whole place that
yeah,
connect like all the buildings and such. And like half of the tunnels are dedicated to the haunt.
yeah,
And then the other half people can investigate, so like there's the smallest tunnel is Philadelphia. It's just a little tunnel down there.
yeah.
Oh my God. Can I tell you how active that tunnel is? It's insane. I have thermal images of people standing next to people sitting on the little ledge, with all their equipment in front of them and everything. And
Yeah.
there's someone standing there that's clearly a spirit because it's void of any kind of heat whatsoever. It's just
Uh-huh.
this dark spirit standing there, like watching them. It's insane, Rockwell Tunnel, that's the bigger one. That's pretty active. Very, very, very active. I mean, a lot
Mm.
of people get all kinds of different things. I had a little girl that was dancing down the tunnel. She said she was dancing. She said her name was Juniper. Um, and she's like, look at me, look at me. And she's like, she said something about, I think she was trying to say ballerina, but she couldn't get the whole word out.
Uh-huh.
But it was just pretty crazy, the stuff that you can get there, and it varies. It varies. And
So
then, of course, Mayflower has a tiny little tunnel too. Again, active. The
yeah.
basement in Mayflower is very active.
But what were the tunnels used for when it was active? When it was an institution?
Getting things, supplies back and forth.
Yeah, to the buildings.
Yeah, and
Right.
then you're not out in the elements. It's like the tunnels are underneath all the walkways above. So
Right.
if you go online and see a picture from above Pennhurst and you see all the walkways,
Yeah.
those are the tunnels, so the tunnels are below them.
Yeah, I
Because
think it
I
was.
read I read the tunnels were used for getting bodies out so that the
Oh
people
my
wouldn't get
God.
No,
upset.
No.
That's
that's
what I read.
No.
no,
No?
No. No.
Okay.
no. That would be like Waverly.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the death
The
tunnel
death
at,
tunnel.
at
Yeah.
Waverly,
Oh,
but
right. Okay.
not so much
No,
Pennhurst.
I think it was more like a safety net for, the employees
Right.
because there was a lot of, they were self-medicated, they were self-policed, they're
Yeah.
rapes, murders. I
Yeah.
mean, even the nurses were the ones that were actually caged up, you
Mm.
know?
Mm.
They put the nurses in a cage so they would
Safe.
be safe.
Yeah.
Right. I
Well,
must
I mean,
admit, looking at one of the things I like to do when I'm researching things like this is find census records of the places to see who, and one of the things that blew my mind, and I think it was I want to say it was like the 1930 census record I found. There's like maybe 2 pages of what I would call staff, and then just page after page after page after page of what they'd call inmate. And it was just the thought of just this tiny amount of staff trying to look after all
hmm.
these
Oh,
people.
yeah, the
Uh,
place is massive. There's so many buildings, and then
Yeah,
they just kept piling people into the
yeah.
buildings. So,
You say
Getting
I
enough. I
don't
mean,
I don't I don't blame the building for some of the stuff that happened. I don't blame the staff. There were a few members of staff who got did some nasty things that I found in newspaper articles, but in general, it was just too many people. And I think the thing that I find quite sad, though, especially when it sort of first was opening in 1908, it was this whole, and we had it in the UK. It wasn't just the US. It was this thing of if people weren't, and I'm doing this in like in speech marks, normal, you wanted to hide them away. They had to be hidden away from society.
Right.
right,
Yeah.
Um, and there was an article, an interview I was reading with a woman who she'd given birth to a child with Down syndrome. And literally within 24 hours of the birth, they were trying to persuade her to place him at Pennhurst before she'd had a chance to get to love him.
wow,
Right.
And she stamped her feet and said,
So
I'm not
sad.
doing it. I'm not doing it. I
That's
love
so
him
sad.
already. He's my son.
Exactly.
And they were like, well, you won't get any help then because that's all we can offer you is help. And she's like, I'm not asking for any help. I'll work it out for
Yeah.
myself. And she did say I had to put him in cottage homes a few times for respite for me more than anything because it's
Yeah.
hard. It is hard work.
Yeah.
But she
right.
said, yeah, within 24 hours of his birth, they were telling her to place him in Pennhurst. And I found some of the articles I read about it are very sort of clickbaity, like, people were dumping their children at Pennhurst because they couldn't be bothered.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
think it would
There's
have been that in the
a lot of the
main.
places. Yeah, a lot of the places were like that, you know.
Yeah, it's
But I don't
just
think it was they were dumping that they couldn't be bothered. They were persuaded by the powers that be that this
Both.
is the best
Both.
route.
I think a little bit of both. Yeah, you get
Yeah,
pressure. You get pressure,
yeah,
and pressure from society, pressure from your family, pressure
yeah,
from, the doctors that don't want to handle it, so yeah, I mean, but if you're strong enough to say no, then you walk away with your child.
yeah. But it's yeah, some of the accounts I've read have actually made me cry. I'll be completely honest, they have made me cry. But
Mhm.
I do think there were people trying to help the residents of the hospital. They weren't just there to be vicious. But we sort of talk about the fact you got involved in Pennhurst. We've talked about how the Paracon came about. Um, what has been your favourite paranormal experience, and where did it happen at the
hmm,
asylum?
My favorite, honestly, I mean, I have so many. There's so many cool pictures and things, but my favorite is the interaction with the trigger prop cats and dogs down the Mayflower basement. I
Hmm.
mean, I love how they open up the new buildings, and I like having new experiences in the new buildings and such, but I still I still go back to that Mayflower basement and how, they we had a cat, and it was just a black and white cat, and you could tell how much they loved having that cat in there, and
Mm.
they were just playing with it and playing with it and playing with it. And actually, I'm going to tell you what happened. So we
Yeah.
had a group in there, and there was a woman. Like, so we had, it was they paid us to take them through, right? So we have them down there, and we're all so giddy and happy that they're interacting with the cat. And the lady said,
Mm.
"Well, watch this." She goes, "I was a nurse," and she goes, "You stop petting that cat." And all of a sudden, everything went dead. I was so angry. I I couldn't believe it. I walked up to the woman and I said, "Please leave." I
Mm.
said, these children did not have any kind of, you know, fun, hope, joy in their
Mm.
life. And you just destroyed that in a minute, and I actually have that on film,
Mm.
that happened. And that broke my heart and everybody else that was in there. So I asked the woman to leave. She did. She left. And after she left, it took a while, but they slowly started playing with the cat again,
Mm.
but that scared them.
Yeah.
So, trauma like that, and just it just reiterates how it is to be nice to the spirits,
Yeah.
and not bully them, don't demand from them,
Yeah.
because it's going to take them a minute to understand what you're saying to them anyway.
Do you know what I would have done? I'd have
What?
probably sat on the floor with the cat and sort of said, come on over, you're
Oh,
safe.
I did.
Come and talk to the cat with me.
Yep,
I've,
I did. I did.
I've,
After she left, I was doing everything under the sun, going, "It's okay. The
yeah,
mean lady is gone now," all that. And they finally started coming back in. But
yep,
Oh, it was like, it's okay. I promise this won't happen again. I
Yep.
promise, all that. And it's just like, but it did. It broke all our hearts. And of course, all the women in the place were just like, oh,
Yeah.
you know. So, but that was mine. So what's yours, Bob?
At Pennhurst,
Yeah.
I would I had an experience in Quaker.
Hmm.
Quaker was more or less, it was like a doctor's residence almost, where, the patients went into there and they had offices and stuff in there.
Mm.
But we had actually come in through the tunnels through the basement. And it seems like whenever you come in through the tunnels, the activity is ramped up. I don't know why. I
Okay.
can't explain it. It's just something that happens. But we were going up the stairs. There was like six of us, and this 10-inch piece of rebar comes out of nowhere and hits me in the head. And I'm
Oh my
like, what the
God.
hell was that?
Oh my God.
What was that hit you?
It was a piece of
Rebar.
rebar, like
Rebar.
reinforcement steel for
Oh,
for
okay. Okay.
concrete,
Right. Right.
and it's possible that it could have, just coincidentally broke off at that
Mm.
time.
Yeah, I don't
What
think
are the what are
so.
the chances
I don't
of
think
that
Mm.
so.
happening? So we went up to the third floor. We started doing some EVP work, and we were asking what doctor was there. And I do real-time EVP. I don't know if
Hmm.
you do that. You do that?
Hmm.
Okay. So we're asking, what doctor was there, and it said Dr. Fear.
I know who he is. Was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I got the chills. Look at
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
He was a nasty piece of work.
He
He
was.
was.
He
He
was.
was.
And it wasn't exactly the way I said it. It was like, a raspy voice. And I was like, oh shit. You know?
Well,
But that,
I've seen
that was my favorite
I've seen the
experience.
interview with him that was in Suffer the Little Children, and it took every ounce of me not to throw things at my television. Some of the stuff
I
he was
know,
saying
right?
was
Don't you
acceptable.
get that way? Oh, you and I are
Oh,
definitely the same.
oh, you would not
Yeah.
believe. Um, my day job is I do a lot. I work in the care industry, and I obviously work with a lot of people with things like dementia and everything else. And I am so protective over them, you would not believe. Um, no, that Dr. Fear, Jesse Fear, that's his name, isn't it? Jesse
Yes.
Fear.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Oh,
never,
oh,
we've
oh.
heard that story over and over and over
Yeah.
about how bad he was. And I never put a lot of stock into it until I got
Oh,
to P.
have
I
you
was like,
watched the Stuff of the
wow.
Little Children six-parter? Have you watched it?
I did.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
he's
This is
injecting a
good.
child who's been a bit difficult, and he asked what's the most painful injection I can give him that won't actually do any medical damage.
Yeah. He was a
Yeah.
sick
What a
individual.
A
piece
piece
of.
of work. Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
No, I was thinking of a
Mhm.
stronger word than that actually,
Yeah,
but
oh yeah, me too. But I don't know
um,
how much we can get away with.
oh, I mean, we're British. It's the norm. He's a piece of shit. Um,
Yeah, 100%.
No, yeah, there was, he's one of the ones that I'm sitting here watching it going, I hope I hope you're rotting. I hope you
Right.
are having those injections given to you
Right.
All
every
right.
And your
All
single
teeth
right. You
and your
day.
teeth getting ripped out of your head.
you
And
Oh.
you
oh
two
my
are you two definitely gonna get together because she's not gonna have a return ticket.
God.
Oh no, I'm very protective over things. Probably because I have got a son who's been treated badly because of his condition and stuff. And I've also got my cousin has severe cerebral palsy and has to live in a residential facility. And I mean, we're talking severe to the,
Yeah,
you know,
my cousin, he's down and
yeah,
he's been at home his whole life. He's actually in his 60s now.
yeah,
And they said, oh, he won't live past 30. Then they said,
yeah,
oh, he won't live past 40 and then 50. And now he's in his
yeah.
60s. So you tell me. Okay.
Yeah, well, they
It's
didn't think my cousin. I mean, my cousin. Well, I call she's like my second cousin, but she must be nudging 40 now, and she was told she wouldn't get past 10.
Mhm.
I mean, she doesn't she has doesn't have capacity to do anything. She can't speak, she can't feed herself, she can't walk. But and my aunt ended up putting her into a cottage home type facility, gosh, about 10 years ago because she was getting so big she couldn't carry her anymore. And
Right.
she was also sometimes aggressive, and she put my aunt in hospital a couple of times, and she had no help. So she just
Yeah.
and she said it's the best thing because now I can visit her and she's my daughter again.
Right.
So
And there are still good ones out there. There
there
are.
are.
We still need them to today. I mean, I have an aunt, my mom, like she was one of 12, and the
Wow.
last one that was born, Debbie, she was severely I mean, she can't do anything for herself.
Mm,
She's still alive. She's institutionalized.
mm.
And my one and only aunt, we lost my mom last year,
I'm sorry.
and she was the matriarch. And so the only one left is my aunt Sandy, and she's
Mm,
the next one up from, my youngest aunt that's put away.
yeah.
And now she's in charge of taking care of her,
Mm,
and they all took care of her very nicely,
mm.
but she was actually in a place in Belchertown, and that's one of the locations that went abandoned too, that I got some insane EVPs,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's where I've got a video of 15 apparitions walking on the FLIR on the
Mm,
thermal camera, and she was actually there. She was in there.
wow.
That was like, wow,
Yeah.
not too far from there, Norwich, like a lot of these places, they ended up again being bad, but they
Yeah.
were good when they started,
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I'm very protective. And if I am ever on an investigation and I hear someone, the only time I've ever kind of not even goaded, but got narky with a spirit is when they've been nasty. When they are being, there was one, it was really affecting one of the young women in my group,
Mm,
and I told them to back off, and they
mm,
didn't. So I got quite protective over her, and
mhm.
because the spirit was renowned to be a bit, he,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have
very,
surprised me if he was a rapist in his
right, yeah.
life. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
But
so
no,
yes,
I
I
never.
had to shame one away from my girlfriend. I got that on. I
Yeah,
can't wait to see you. I'll show you all these pictures.
cool.
I got this apparition groping my friend, or, her breast, grabbing her breast, and I got a
Hmm.
picture of it. And I saw it happening as the video was going, and I shamed it,
Mm,
and I saw it on the
hmm.
video actually backing off, like shocked that I caught it, and then
Hmm.
backing off and disappearing into the wall.
Hmm.
It just craziness, but yeah, you're not gonna, we always say to be kind to the spirits, but if they're not gonna be kind
Exactly.
to you, that's a
Mm.
different
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, but it sometimes also depends on why then you feel it's like I was saying about the scratches on my neck. I didn't think it was anything. I didn't go to, oh, it was demonic or it was this, it was that. I just thought maybe someone was trying to get my attention.
Right. That's what I'm
And
thinking. They can't speak and there's no other
yeah.
way for them,
And the comparison I use is when you've got a toddler, and this is what I say to people, and they're trying to get your attention because they can't quite speak yet. They might start off with sort of tapping you on the leg. And when you're
Yeah.
still not looking, they'll start hitting you harder on the leg. And when you're still not looking, they might start tugging your clothes. And then when you're still not looking, they'll give you a great big punch on your leg to get your
Yes.
attention. Does it mean
Yes.
they want to hurt you? No. Does it
Yeah.
mean they're trying? And how do we not
Yeah.
know that some of these spirits are standing there,
Yeah.
metaphorically
I,
doing
and
that?
I had that happen because I was at SK Pierce Mansion, and I
Hmm.
was up on the top floor, and I was playing hide and seek with the kids. And
Yep.
when you can hear it all on the audio, like I found you, and then you hear the giggling and everything. And then someone had come upstairs, and I was standing right at the top of the stairs there. There was this little room, like they had this uh like a crafting type room, and they
Uh-huh.
had a long tablecloth on this little round table, and we're standing next to the table, so the kids think I'm still playing hide and seek. And then all of a sudden, and it's like, and I had jeans on that were like more bell bottomish, and all of a sudden I feel this tugging
Hmm.
on my leg from under the table, on my pant leg. And I'm like, oh, you know what? And I realized what it was right away. I'm like, oh, I'm still playing hide and seek. I said, are you under that table? And then you hear the giggling again, because it's just it's fun,
Yeah.
when you have interaction like that. But yeah, but like, they were like, hey, 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 don't forget
Yeah.
we're playing.
So were there any of the buildings actually specifically for like the younger children? Were any of them? Because what I read is that each building was almost like a specific
Yeah,
purpose.
boys in one, girls in
Yeah.
one, men. Yeah, they were all assigned to different areas. The buildings were all definitely assigned, like
Yeah.
Limerick, it's like a work building. You'd go there to work,
Yeah.
your infirmary and the hospital, different buildings. There was the building that had the pool for, like a recreational type
Tinicum
area.
Union.
Yeah, like so
Yeah.
many, so many different buildings were assigned different
Yeah.
tasks.
Because I'd love to go into one of them and just read them a story. Just read them like
We
a
we actually
story.
started we started last year. We started cleaning out the basement of Tinicum. I think you were there actually when we were cleaning it out.
You
Yes,
were,
we,
I know we went into one that you said we just started working on
Yeah,
this
we
one, I
had
think it
actually
was.
found there was a lot of rumors about what was it, the electroshock room? Is that
yeah,
what?
you had the door.
Yeah, we found the steel door to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in Tinicum, but I don't
yeah.
think it
It
it,
wasn't from
it
that
wasn't
building.
from that building.
It was
Mm,
But
just stored there.
the windows that we found, they were really cool. Like all the windows in Pennhurst used to have like cages over them,
right.
and they had it was like frosted glass with wire in the glass. It was like
Mm,
safety glass, right?
hmm hmm
So every window that we found there, that they were like big frames. They were 4 feet by 6 feet, and they were heavy, and they had the glass. And every one of these little, you know, 8 inch by 10 inch window was painted by a what's called by a patient,
Mm.
Oh,
and it was so cool to see that,
Are
you
those the
know.
wow.
ones that almost look like stained glass when we walk past
Yes,
them? Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the first time we ever found something like that, you
Wow.
know.
Yeah.
But I guess they stored the entire place there.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know
everything.
what I mean? Like, oh my God, there were like 100 of them there. I'm like,
Well, even under, did they clean up, ever clean out, finish cleaning out under assembly? Because you go into
no,
assembly
no,
and
not
down
yet.
in the basement of assembly, there's like a basketball court and such in
Oh
there.
yeah,
You know,
bleachers and
yeah, really, really cool. But it's like buried, you know.
Mm.
So it needs to be like dug out, you know, and then that's basically what they do in these basements. It's from years and years and years and years of just sediment, 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 debris and stacking stuff. It just gets buried, you
Well,
know.
I'm going to
yeah.
make you an offer here, okay? And I haven't asked the elder
You gonna
son.
work?
Well, maybe. I make you a deal. If the elder son gets his exams, and so he's coming over, you can have him for a couple of days to do labouring work if he can investigate it. Is that fair?
We won't make you work. We'll let you investigate.
Well, no, he can do the work. He'd quite enjoy it, actually. He's a typical teenage boy. He likes to be active. And I think
Well, there's always something to do there.
doing stuff like that in a place that he's seen on television, he would actually be quite blown away. And gosh, his mates would be very jealous because they're all very jealous that he has a mum who does all of this.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, you can have him for a couple of days if he can do a free investigation.
Okay. All right.
It's
You
a
got a
deal.
deal. You
It's
got
a
a deal, but he's got to do good. He has to
he
pass
will.
us. I need to see the grades.
Yeah, well, don't worry, I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted
Okay.
because Lourdes has said the same thing. We want to see the grades. So
Right.
we are pushing him to get them because of what he wants to do.
Okay.
He needs them, but he's really like, really, can I really go to all the and Greg O'Brien, who fought Mifflin, I said, yeah, you can come to
Yep.
Mifflin as
Mifflin.
well.
Yeah.
And so he's
Yeah.
like, his jaw is just hitting the floor when I tell him all the places that I'm speaking to on his behalf. But yeah, he'd come and work for you for a bit during the day. And
Greg will be at Pennhurst too.
yes, I know he's already messaged me to say he's gonna. There's quite a few people who I know online are like, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna come and meet you for the first time. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
that's
get too
awesome.
excited. Don't get too excited. You've seen the best. You've seen the best bit online.
Well, I
Um,
can't wait to meet you in person.
well, weren't you going to put
I
me
know
next
you've
to
met
you?
Bob, but you didn't meet
No, I
me.
didn't meet you. Did you? You going to
No,
put?
I'm at home doing work and he's over there doing physical work.
Well, you were going to put my table next to yours, weren't you,
Well, we
Gina?
have tents. They're tents. They're
Oh,
outside.
okay,
So
okay.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully we'll have you
Yeah.
next to it.
No,
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah.
good. But no, I'm volunteering the son. He's quite strong. He does labouring work for his dad, who's a builder in school holidays to earn a bit of extra money. He'll be good. He'll be good. He'd enjoy
Okay.
it. He'll enjoy it.
Well, I think you should investigate first and then do the work because it's pretty backbreaking. You don't feel like investigating after you get done with that place.
He'll
They
be
killed you. Pray,
he'll only
pray
be
I stay home. I
17.
let Bob go down there.
He'll only be 17 by that point. They bounce back quite quickly.
I
Uh,
know.
but I'm
Yeah.
very
Not
jealous of
so
how
much when
quickly.
we're 62 and 63.
Yeah, no, I'm 51 and yeah, no. But no, he can do a really hard day and his dad pushes him when he's at work. He pushes him. He'll go to sleep the minute he gets in and the next day he's absolutely fine.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
used to be like that. I used to
yeah,
do physical labor all the time.
yeah.
You know,
But no, he's
tool belt
17.
diva. I used to build things and rip things apart and
Yeah,
build them.
yeah. He was
Yeah.
smashing down walls in a house they're working on last week and yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Now here I am, with a sciatic problem from sitting in a chair all day yesterday. You know, this is this is not good.
The only time you get me sitting, I mean, even though my day job is sitting doing stuff, I still have to get up every 30, 40 minutes because my silly
Yeah.
dog, he needs
Oh,
attention about every 30. So I have to go out and play with him for 10 minutes, then sit back down, then work for a bit, then play with him for 10 minutes, then sit. So I don't sit down. The only time I sit down for more than a couple of hours is if I go to the archives and I'm researching stuff, and then I'm just lost in the books, and
right,
I don't move for hours. And
right.
I get text messages from the husband saying, I can see you haven't moved for 3 hours. Go and get a drink.
Yep, yep, yep.
So,
Yeah,
talking about Pennhurst, has it ever frightened either of you?
not me.
No?
Just the size of the crowd.
Just the
Ah,
size. I
mm,
meant the location in general.
yeah,
Has
no.
No,
it ever frightened
no,
you? Or would you quite happily be there at night on your
no.
own? Wouldn't
We've been
care.
there 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Last one out,
Yeah,
locking doors.
yeah.
Of
Closing things, and then
course, you
when
always look, turn around and you think you hear
yeah, you
stuff, and you
gotta
just kind of
just keep
ignore it and
walking.
just lock up and get out of there.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. I'll just say, nope, not now, not now, not talking now. I'm sorry. And
So,
then I
if
close the
anyone's,
building.
yeah, I must admit, I've locked up buildings before and just gone, yeah, thanks for that, bye. Um, the living scare me more than the dead anyway. Um,
Definitely.
so if anyone has not got their ticket yet, give us the
Please
details for the Paracon. How do they go about getting tickets if they're in the States and they want to come along?
go to www.pennhurstasylum.com. It
Hmm.
will automatically come up the 2025 Paracon and Oddities Expo. And then just look through the menu because there are just a weekend pass to get you through the door and you can, do a lot of things. There are VIP and RIP passes that allot you a lot of great amenities, early access, all that kind of stuff like that. Read on the thing on the site because it's like, all right, so RIP pass, and it will say, be the first in the door to meet a cast of, the paranormal shows such as Ghost Hunters Project Fear, Ghost Brothers, blah, 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 go down the line. And then it tells you what you can do, early access happy hour is included in that because otherwise, if you don't have that pass, you have to buy the happy hour pass.
Hmm.
You get access to the Philly building, Limerick building, Industry building. Um, there's so many different things. But then like the RIP and the VIP have slightly different things that you can do. So please read, buy your ticket accordingly. You can buy a Sunday pass. You can buy the what?
Well, that comes with the rip. Friday or,
Yeah,
or
Friday or
Saturday night
Friday or Saturday
VIP
night
dinner.
VIP dinner.
Hmm.
And that's where the Q&As are held. You know, he's the party itself. Like, all right, so the weekend pass, they have a special going on right now until I think you got 2 more days. It's like $49. You can get in for the whole weekend.
Wow, that's
Uh,
good.
and it's gonna go up. I know, that's not a bad deal. But
Not at
then,
all.
like for a VIP, they have it at you can do like the RIP is 250, the VIP is 120, the speakeasy is like 45, the whole pass is 49, a Sunday pass is 35. However, those are going to be going up in a couple of days. So this
Hmm.
is just a special that's going on until the 17th.
Hmm.
Uh, so you
I'm going to
know,
be honest with you. I think we're almost sold out of the rip passes, the
Right.
250 ones.
yeah, you'll notice that online if there's some available or not, so but I just can't emphasize enough to read every pass to
Yeah.
see if that is what you really want to be doing. And then of course you do your history tours
And you can do a celebrity
and the celebrity.
overnight investigation
Yeah.
Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday night.
Yeah, and Bob's gonna be part of that, and as well as who's else is going to that now? That's I think
Katrina's going to be there, Penny
Brian and
Negre,
Michelle. Yeah, Brian
Ryan
and
and Rochelle.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
and
it
let's
sounds, and it's,
Penny's going to be there.
am I?
Oh, I thought you were.
Oh, okay. I can't remember what we agreed. I was gonna check all this with you once I'd finished recording. Now, what did I say I was gonna come
Yeah, Chris
to?
Williams, Brian, Rochelle, Patty, Katrina, and Bob. Those are the ones that, are definitely going to be there. And then if someone else ends up showing up, then they show up and then,
Well,
We have
what might
actually
have to happen is if it's on, say, the Saturday, I might finish selling books at 5, then you might find me asleep in the back seat of my car to wake
yeah,
me
I do
up.
that. I do that. I go to my car.
sometimes I don't go back to the hotel. I just because I have to be there at 5:30 in the morning when they
Oh,
open again.
no,
So
no, no.
Yeah.
No, but you might find
Yeah.
me under a jacket in the back seat of my car. So when it's ready for investigation time, someone might have to find my car and just knock on the window, go, You're up,
Yeah.
come on."
Yep. So I was doing that last year, and the last day I was just toast.
Mm.
Like, oh, I can't do it. I had to take a nap.
So
you,
what dates in May is it? Is it
This
17th?
17th and 18th. But it starts actually Friday night with the VIP party.
Yep.
It actually has the happy hour, horror hour, and the VIP party and the celebrity ghost hunt. And then Saturday you have all those parties again. And Sunday is the ghost hunt at night.
No parties.
Saturday and Friday is the ghost hunt at night. And no parties
Wow.
on Sunday. And then a lot of the unpacking goes on, usually, pack up of the vendors and stuff
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
So we have
Wow.
some early birds coming on Friday to set up, and then the rest for vendors come and set up on Saturday morning.
Yep.
So it's busy, busy, busy from the second it starts, from Friday until
yeah, I think we have
Sunday, late Sunday,
225 vendors right now.
Brilliant.
late Sunday. It
And
will be
we
very
actually had
busy.
it open for 3 days, the vendors,
Yeah.
and we had to pull it because we had 350 applicants.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Wow.
we
Well,
weren't
thank you
that
so
much.
much for giving me a tent to sell my English books and see if I can invade America by books. It would be quite nice to see my books in people's bookshelves in
Absolutely.
America.
I need them on mine. And on my podcast, the Fox Den with Gina B and
Hmm.
Mama D every Thursday, um, I have all my guests have books for the
Yep.
most part. They either have books or they have Oracle decks or something like that, but
Hmm.
some kind of published. And I read their book, and then I have them on. I do my research. So I want one of your books,
You're going to be
and
getting a copy of my new book, Becoming Peggy, which is now on Amazon and available for people to buy. So
okay,
I will
and
be
then we
bringing a
got to
copy
book
for
you.
you.
Yes, and we got to book you on my show.
I have a
Definitely.
question for you.
Go on.
What's your take on Ouija boards?
I haven't got an issue with them because to me, I don't think it's any different to opening a portal using a spirit box or anything else. I like doing them, and this is going to sound a bit kinky, but I like people doing them blindfold because then they can't see where
Yes,
they're pushing the planchette.
there you go. Yep.
Um, but I'm one of those people, I don't take any one single thing as being categorical proof. So, for example, if a Ouija board has spelt out a name and that name has also come up, say, on the spirit box, and it's also come up on a novelist at the same time,
Yeah,
then I might
I
say
believe it.
that's pretty uncanny. But no, I people think I'm nuts, but I suggest if I'm doing it, I suggest they blindfold or at least shut their eyes when they're
Yeah,
doing a
I've
Ouija.
always said that and never do it by yourself. But the
No,
thing is,
the least I've done it with two people. I must admit I was a bit dubious about letting my 15-year-old do them, but I have taught him how to protect himself. I've taught him when to say I've had enough, I'm stepping away. His talent, his skill is mirror divination.
oh, I
Hmm.
love that. Yeah,
He's done it a few times, and we did one at a shop. It's a tattoo shop in a building that's like about 400 years old in Chelmsford, and his face changed. He had a
yep,
moustache, his jaw shape changed, his nose changed, and his eyes were open the whole time. But when we were trying to pull him out, nearly 20 minutes later, he wasn't responding to us talking to him. He was that deep. I actually had to use mum voice to get him out.
right, right,
So
right.
he's
Yeah,
got but that's
that's
my
pretty
view on Ouija
intense.
boards. I don't mind them. I think sometimes they are a bit of a parlor trick depending on how people are using them, but I think there are things you can put in place to make it more interesting and genuine, if that answers.
Okay.
Well,
All right. Going there, we have very interesting
yeah,
for
we
you.
designed a Ouija board.
It's
Ooh.
spirit only. It's
It's hands
light.
free.
It's hands free. The
Oh, I
spirit
have,
lights up
yeah,
the letters
that's,
and the
yeah,
numbers.
yeah, that's, like I say, even when I like human pendulum, but I sort of just changed it a bit where and again, I use my son as a guinea pig. Poor child's probably going to be possessed by the time he's 16, but, um,
That's why we have them.
yeah, I had to go through childbirth with
Kick
him.
him
I'm
into play.
going to use and abuse him. No, when he does human pendulum, he has earphones with white noise going through, so he can't
Mhm.
hear the questions being asked,
Right.
and he's never moved, done a yes or a no indication when I haven't been speaking. And also, I've got other people to do it in exactly the same, but also I'll ask questions like control questions that if he heard what I was asking, he would open his eyes and look at me and go, Mom, that's disgusting. Like, do you think Will would mind if I smother him in kisses right now? Because obviously
Right.
teenager doesn't like affection from his mum. And the answer's yes, he would mind. And stuff like that. So I do these control questions, but yeah, that's like when I do human pendulum as a yes no, he can't hear what we're asking at all. And
Right.
but yeah, so no, a Ouija board that you can't touch would
Yep.
be very
It's one of a
interesting.
kind. It's the only one
Mm.
in existence, and we're not making them to sell them. So it's just we have the one,
Ah.
you know. So the
So is that
very
you trying to convince me to stay up to come on one of the investigations because I'll get to have a play with it?
Oh,
yep.
I'll have it there.
Yeah, I'll be
We've
there.
had it go off a few times there.
Yeah, but they
Cool.
can't really spell.
Yeah,
They can't really do stuff. So it's like, it's
we
not really the best
the first time
scenario
I went
for
off,
it.
we were like really disappointed, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it was just like
No,
random letters.
that's not true. The first time it went off, it was here at the
No, I'm talking
house.
in Pennhurst.
I
The
know,
first time I went out
I
off of
know. But
Pennhurst.
the first time it actually went
Yeah, I
off,
know that.
it was amazing. It spelled out W0W, right? And I said, and he
Wow.
goes, whoa. I said, no, that's wow. I said, but
Wow.
they spelled it wrong. They used the number zero instead of the letter zero. And then it corrected itself. It went WOW. Like,
Nice.
how impressive is that? All right. And
And they're
we
listening. It's
like,
interactive. Yeah.
We were
yeah.
doing
And
an
that was,
interview for
yeah.
college
Yeah. At a haunted college, the girls wanted to come interview us
Mm.
about,
equipment.
no, it wasn't, but they didn't know we made equipment. It was
Oh yeah,
about
that's
ghost
right. Yeah, it was
detectives.
about ghost detectives.
And so it was about the TV show, and we were doing all that, and we were loaded up with equipment in our dining room. And our dining room is our house is haunted, but
Mm.
that's like where a lot of spirits like to hang out. And when we were done, they were asking about the equipment, and then he had just gotten done. We just first debut with this Ouija board, had it on the table, and he turned it on, and he was just explaining how it worked, and then that's what happened. And they were like, and we just started going, oh my, and they're like, what's the matter? And we're like, it works. Oh my God. It was like, it was great. But then again, it's the same as any other tool,
Yeah.
and you have to know where you're taking it. And if people like Pennhurst, they don't really know how to spell. Some of them
Mm.
can't, their hands are
But the great thing is you're
bound
not connected
to
to it.
their body. Yeah, bound to
Mm.
their body, so they can't really touch it.
Mm.
But, a lot of other locations, I'm sure it's going to do
Definitely.
better. But it's
Nice.
still,
I'm so looking forward to seeing you two next month.
inventive. I
So
know.
looking forward to it.
I am too.
Well, thank you both for taking the time out this evening to come on Haunted Histories. I could talk to you for hours, but I'm not gonna because you're busy. You've got a huge Paracon to keep doing work on that's happening in a month. So the Pennhurst Paracon, if anyone has somehow missed what we're talking
Right.
about, Pennhurst Asylum and Pennhurst Paracon. If you are in the States and you have got a ticket and you're coming along, please do come and find me, even if it's just to say hello and hear me talking my weird English accent. Um, or to find out if I have managed to drive on the American side of the road. I won't say the correct side because obviously my side's the correct side, but the American side of the road and not been pulled over by the police or anything for doing anything silly. But on that note, thank you, Gina. Thank you, Bob.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
You're
Thank
both
Thank
you.
you.
gorgeous, lovely people, and I cannot wait to see you next
We
month.
can't.
And Yeah,
Well,
I've.
you'll see Gina. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to see me so
Well, I
much.
might see you in passing, like a wave as you go past or something. I'm sure
Yeah,
that
I'm a
will happen,
blur.
won't it?
Yeah, he's everywhere. And then all of a sudden you'll see him sitting in a VIP tent or something, he'll finally get a chance to sit down. That's when I have to get out and walk and I'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Well, if you ever lose me, just look for Steve in South
Okay.
Station. You might find me sort of
Okay.
loitering.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve's good friends with us.
Yeah,
We're really good friends with everybody, actually.
he's
Yeah.
awesome. He really is.
But yeah, if you
When
lose me, that's where I'll probably be.
yeah, he's genuinely just a sweetheart,
Yes.
honestly.
Either
They
that or
all are,
Katrina, either that or Katrina or I will be joking about something
yeah,
together
Katrina's
because
great
we
too.
tend to natter quite a bit when we get together. So, but yes, Pennhurst Paracon, that's been the lovely Gina and the lovely Bob. If you've enjoyed the podcast and you don't follow me already on Haunted Histories on Facebook, please do. There are more podcasts coming this year. I have got some other episodes lined up. Hopefully, the family stuff that caused a bit of a delay won't cause any more problems. But on that note, thank you for listening and stay tuned for more episodes. Have a good evening, sleep tight, and don't worry too much about things that go bump in the night.